As we see the higher education and research sectors evolving and changing as we move forward, it's really important for Unimutual to ensure that we remain relevant and in step with the changes to the sector. I'm really excited to be able to share with you our strategic vision for the period 2023 to 2028. Shortly, we'll be talking about the 6 strategic pillars that form part of that strategy. But first, I'd like to start with our refreshed purpose and vision. Our purpose. We harness our collective expertise and experience to provide risk protection solutions, shaped by the evolving needs of the higher education and research sector to build a stronger, more resilient membership. Vision. We stand beside our members in the higher education and research sector, protecting them as they deliver benefits to our community over generations. At Unimutual, we have a fantastic group of members that work collaboratively with us. As a member-owned organisation, our members come first and we exist solely for their benefit. Our members are actively involved in Unimutual. 2/3 of our board members are member directors who represent our membership and ensure that we're delivering on their needs as they evolve.
Capital strength of the mutual needs to be there to ensure the mutual is here for another 30, 40, 50 years to align with its membership base. From a membership point of view, with my member hat on, you've got to look at the partnership that the mutual offers to the sector and all the members. It's critical that we can look into the mutual and know that that capital strength is there, that it can ride out the peaks and troughs of the insurance cycle. The growth will be about organic growth of the membership base. It'll be about the members interacting with each other, but also with those that are currently outside the membership. So growth from a member's point of view really needs to be about increasing membership base and sharing knowledge.
We find that people working in higher education and research sectors are extremely collaborative. As the leader in risk prevention and risk protection in the higher education and research sectors, we harness the enormous knowledge base of our members to respond to emerging risks on a regular basis. Unimutual has partnerships across Australia and internationally. These partnerships are important as they allow us to collect the information, ideas and knowledge that enhance our understanding of best practice in risk prevention and risk protection. We develop strong relationships with our diverse membership base, which enhance our position as the trusted advisor across the sectors and also allow us to develop recommendations for our members and then help them implement those. While we cannot control the global reinsurance market, we can take steps to help smooth the insurance cycle for our members. By providing coverage and pricing certainty, this limits the impact of fluctuations in the reinsurance market of our members. It also allows us to respond to the ever-changing needs of our members.
We have a fantastic team at Unimutual, specialists in the higher education and research sector who have been with the organisation serving our members for a long time. As part of our 5-year strategy, we're looking at all policies, processes and procedures to ensure that we're the most efficient for our members. So thank you for coming on this journey with us. It's going to be an exciting 5 years as together we move forward, working in the sector for the benefit of the sector.
Great. So good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming along this morning. Thank you to Jane for the very kind introduction. I thought it was important to share once again our 5-year strategy. For those who've been to the conference before, you would have seen it. It's on our website and I roll it out at every opportunity that I can because I think it's important for the membership to understand what we're trying to achieve together as a group over the next 5 years. One thing, because I'm a detail person, 60% of our board members are member directors. We changed our constitution last year, so I do have to update that part of the video. And we recently updated with Di jumping into the video with the retirement of one of our other directors. But the 5-year strategy came in 2023 and it's working well for us. We've had 20% membership growth in the last 2 years. And as you'll find out next Wednesday, does everyone know the AGM's next Wednesday? As you'll find out next Wednesday, we've had our second year in a row of a significant surplus, which is a great position to be in and ensures our sustainability for the next 35 years and beyond. What I would like to cover today, and I'm going to move pretty quickly through this to make sure that we get the most time on the demonstration we've got. We're going to cover very briefly the things that we delivered last year. As a bit of a reminder, we're going to cover 3 initiatives that we're talking about today, and then a few other things that are coming a bit later on. So I'll start with last year. So 2024 was a great year in terms of moving the strategy forward. We partnered with the Risk Management Institute of Australasia to offer services at no additional cost to all of our membership, where they have significant risk management tools, tips, fact sheets, processes to complement the work that we already do. So rather than just, offer the things that we offer, we've worked with the RMIA to complement our skill set with additional skills. There's licenses available for every member. We bought 90 licenses and we're using 60 at the moment. So if anybody isn't taking advantage of that, please do let myself or Tony Pescott know. And if you currently have it and you want additional ones, please let us know. It's a great initiative, and some of our members are already working through RMIA accreditation and some of the conferences and the tips and tools they've got. The valuation panel we delivered late last year, which was an opportunity for us to work with professional valuers, the valuers that most of you in the room use, to negotiate a better fee based on the size of our membership. And through the last couple of days, I've had half a dozen members come up already and say, we've used this, it's great, it made it easier because we know that they're professional, we know you'll accept them, and we got a good deal because of the rates you negotiated. So again, if you're not aware of it, it's on our website. The details, or reach out to the team. We automated renewal for the first time in 15, 20 years. Christine, you had an October long weekend. Normally October long weekend, the member services team and the rest of the team would work on all of the renewal documentation for our membership. And working with Resure, we were able to automate that process this year, and the team could have a long weekend. So it was fantastic to bring in that efficiency, but also reduce risk. Risk of human error when you're trying to get a big amount of work done. There's something like 1,200 documents get produced in the 6 weeks leading up to renewal, and a lot of those were manually collated and then checked for quality assurance. With automation, we've simplified that and reduced the risk. We offered a pandemic cover last year. At this conference last year, the members indicated it was of interest. We've launched that cover. We had some members purchase it, and we're going to do some more work this year leading into renewal to explain the cover a bit more. We've received feedback. You want more information. You might want more limit. The limit that was offered wasn't big enough for needs, so we're going to work through that. But great to launch a new cover off the back of the fine arts cover the year before. And we also had our virtual chat rooms, the opportunity for members to jump in with other members and with the Unimutual team to talk about matters such as your protections, such as underwriting, claims, as well as risk management. So some really good steps forward as part of our 5-year strategy, and you can see the project numbers there. We've got so many projects on the go, we need to number them so that we know exactly where we're up to and what we're working on. But for today, we've got a couple of things we'd like to share with you. The first one is the new Unimutual website. So we did announce this at last year's conference that it was coming. Our website had served us well for many years, but like all technology, there comes a time when you can't fix it anymore and you've got to replace it. So if we could just bring up the website. I won't run through a demo of the website this morning, but from Monday, you'll all receive new login details. And so you'll need to reset passwords, and there's also now multi-factor authentication to go through. But the nice thing in the website is it's more accessible. It's in line with current cybersecurity standards. It includes all the policies that we're required from a regulatory perspective to show. And as with the previous website, there's also members only or brokers only sections. So the public facing website tells everybody all about us and what we do. And then behind the scenes, you'll have access to the tips, tools, resources that only members enjoy. So you'll receive those login details on Monday. If you need help with those, please reach out to the member services team. If you just want to scroll up a little bit on that website or down a little bit, you'll see our member experience scores. Stop. 2024 year in review. They're the numbers we're going to talk to at next week's AGM. Now we can turn that off. As a little sneak peek, because I did have someone ask me last night about our surplus, and I did tell them, so I thought it was only fair that everyone had the opportunity to see that. The next one is controlled environments and high value equipment. Over the last couple of years, Simon and Greg have identified a rising trend in losses with high value equipment. And last year we started the process of identifying high value equipment greater than $1 million, so we can really focus on how we protect that equipment and understanding where it fits into the ecosystem. Funnily enough, when you talk to the Canadian and the UK universities mutuals, as I do, their top risk on the rise is exactly this: the failure of a $2 plastic pipe in a ceiling over a high value piece of equipment that could cost $5 or $10 million. So it's a big focus for us, and our members have said that's great, but we need help. The other part is research and valuing research, because there's really no skill in the valuation space to be able to value the research that our research institutes and universities do. Simon and Greg, over the last couple of years, have developed a valuation methodology which helps to address this and helps our members in understanding the values of research they have and how we best protect it. So what we decided this year is that we would resource a function to be able to do that for our members. Rather than outsource it to a provider, we created the IP. We want to keep it within your mutual, so we've resourced that. And for those who've already met Glenn Mowbray started with us on Tuesday to undertake, as well as other risk management roles, the role of supporting our membership in valuing their research materials and also looking at the high value equipment, helping to register them, see where the upstream and downstream impacts of a loss of that high value equipment is, and provide advice on how to protect it. Glenn has a background in the sector, so most recently at the University of Canberra, leading the risk function there, and in the dim distant past, although he only looks like he's about 22, in the distant past, Glenn was involved in research as a lab technician, so he brings a great amount of skill, both from an understanding of research, having worked in labs, but also an understanding of risk and understanding the sector. So, Glenn, if you'd like to stand up, and if we could welcome Glenn to the team. Right, so I've moved through pretty quickly, and my big announcement that was top secret, everyone seems to know about. At dinner, it was great when someone said, "This announcement tomorrow, it's the dashboards, isn't it?" Because I was talking to someone who was talking to someone. So look, we're really excited. Based on member feedback, we hear how difficult it is sometimes to report to your audit and risk committees on numbers, whether it's claims numbers, whether it's your protections, whether it's the profile, risk management. And it takes hours to days quite regularly to prepare this. So I asked the team, is that something that we should be doing to support? And maybe once or twice a year, we would create a report to send out to each member. And they said, great idea, but not good enough. So they challenged me and said, if we come up with something that is better than what you have in your vision, can we do it? And I said, absolutely. And today what we're going to do is demonstrate exactly what we've created. The important part about this dashboard is it was created with members. So we had 7 of our members participate in the design. We listed the things we thought would be important in the report, but we had 7 of our members, including the technical committee, involved in the design. Prithvi, who'll join me on stage in a minute to run the demo, designed this using Power BI. So anyone who's used Power BI in the past, that's the basis for it. And then once it was designed, we went back out to that reference group and said, here's what we've built. Is this what you wanted? And with a little bit of further feedback, today we're able to launch it. And from next week, every member will get access to their dashboard. Not a static dashboard that we produce a couple of times a year. It's refreshed every morning. So the latest information that's in Reshore and our other systems will be available in this dashboard. So look, with that, I will pass over to Prithvi to come up and run you through what the dashboard looks like.
The member dashboard has been developed to provide insights to members on their own performance. It is also designed to support industry benchmarking across the sector. The information presented on the dashboard is Unimutual's ongoing commitment to our members to deliver great transparency and value. The member dashboard starts with an introduction from our CEO, Geoff Henderson. Using the menu located here on the left, you can navigate through the member dashboard. The summary reporting page serves as the central starting point, providing a comprehensive view of key reporting metrics in one place. It offers an overview of trends from the past 10 years. Navigating from the summary reporting page is easy. Use the menu on the left or the buttons at the top to access other reporting pages. The Protections reporting page provides a detailed overview of your protections, comparing protection limits for the current and previous year. It also presents a 10-year trend analysis and a breakdown of protection limits by protection class. The Contribution reporting page allows you to filter by protection year and protection class. It also enables drilled-through functionality, providing insights into the key elements driving contribution calculations. Additionally, it offers a clear comparison of contributions by protection for the current and previous year. The Claims reporting page offers a range of features, allowing you to filter and drill down into detailed information. You can compare key metrics such as claims count and claim values across the current and previous years. Additionally, the page provides insights into claims trends over the past 10 years. Wow! Up on the right-hand side, you can even see the top 5 claim types across the Unimutual portfolio. This example demonstrates how to navigate an alternative view, allowing you to toggle between net claims value and claim count. The displayed data will dynamically adjust based on the selected protection class and year. The Risk Recommendation reporting page is structured into 2 sections. The left-hand side focuses on member data, presenting trends in the number of risk recommendations over the past 10 years, along with the duration for which recommendations have remained outstanding. On the right-hand side, benchmarking insights are provided, allowing you to compare member recommendations against the Unimutual portfolio. We understand that some of the terms here are new and you may not be familiar with the terminology. We have developed a definitions page that you can reference at any time. We have also detailed where we obtained this data and how it can be relied upon on the disclaimer page. We recommend you read this and ask the Unimutual team if you want to clarify anything. We're excited to launch the Unimutual member dashboard here today. And to give you more insights into the dashboard, we will now have a live demonstration.
Good morning everyone. What you have seen here is a 3-minute video of the dashboard at a very high level. So what I'll do in the next 15 minutes, I'll do a live demonstration of the dashboard. We'll go through each and every functionality of the dashboard, go through some of the insights what you can bring from the dashboard as well. And before I get into the dashboard, just want to let you know all the members will get an email sometime next week. That email will contain the username, passwords. It will have the login credentials basically, along with the link to the dashboard and some instruction on how to set up multi-factor authentication just to keep the data more secured. Once you're able to successfully log in, this is what you see on your screen. Once you log in, this is the home page of Power BI. From there, there's different ways you can access the dashboard. You can access from the left-hand side. There is apps. You can click the apps to go to the dashboard. Or if you have used Power BI before, all your history would be saved in the recent items. You can go from here. You can click dashboard. Or there's something called My Apps. So any apps or any dashboard gets shared to you. It will all be in My Apps. So currently we'll be sharing just one dashboard, and you can go to My Apps and click the dashboard, and it takes you directly to the cover page of the dashboard itself. So the dashboard in total has got 9 pages to it. There are 4 non-reporting pages and 5 reporting pages. The 4 non-reporting pages are a cover page, which has got member dashboard at the top, and it's got your member name in it. It's got your university or college name, which comes below that. And there is an icon below that, which is like a training icon. If in the initial few weeks, once you're new to the dashboard, you can always go to the training video, which is like 15-minute video, which takes through completely each and every page and each and every visual and explain how it works. That video would be something very similar to what I'm currently doing. And below that, we got Unimutual contact. If you need to contact us, our email address as well. And the second non-reporting page is a message from our CEO, Geoff Henderson. And we got a disclaimer page. The disclaimer page is a standard disclaimer for Unimutual reporting. If you have any questions on that, feel free to contact us on service@unimutual.com.au. And a definition page will have 2 sections to it. One is the definition of the dashboard itself. That's been customized to each member. It will have your member name in it. University or college or affiliate will have the name in it. And below that, there is a table which has got all the key metrics, what's been used in the dashboard, and the definition on the side. You can go through it if you have any questions on the definitions on the key metrics. That's all about the non-reporting pages. I'll quickly move on to the reporting pages. There are 5 reporting pages. We got a summary page, protection limits, contributions, claims, and risk recommendations. The summary page gives you an overview of the key metrics for the last 10 years. It gives you a trend, what's happened in the last 10 years for contributions, declared asset value, claims, loss ratio, risk recommendation, and rate property. Specifically for the claims, you have a toggle between claim count and claim value, where you get the trend of claim value or claim count. And each of these visuals has got few features to it, like a tooltip on top of each visual, which gives some additional information on the visual itself. For example, this one tells there is a drill through functionality. I'll talk about the drill through functionality in a couple of minutes. And on the top right, there's more options as well. Currently what you see is just the visual. If you want to know what's the numbers underlying those visuals, you can click the 3 dots and click show as table. That'll take you to a different screen, which will have the trend at the top and the numbers underlying in the form of table below that. And a back button would take you back to the summary page. And also sometimes when you do presentations or when you're showing it to other members on Microsoft Teams online, you can use a spotlight functionality, which spotlights on a specific visual what you're talking about, so the focus can be on that visual. That's another functionality. If I click spotlight again, it takes you back to the original page. And then talking about the drill through, each and every visual has got a drill through functionality. Just to demonstrate that, let's say I'm interested in 2024 contribution of 6.7 million. On the column, I can right click drill through to details. This takes you to a different table where you see the contributions by protection class in more detail for the selected year. This is for more details from the summary page. And a back button is going to take you back to the original page. This drill through works very similar for all of these visuals. For example, if you want to know the claim count, let's say there are 16 claim counts which was issued way back in 2016. You can drill through to details page. You can get the list of all those 16 claims and all the columns related to those 16 claims as well. Back button, go back to the original page. It works very similar for all the visuals, even the risk recommendations. If there are 42 risk recommendations for 2019, you can drill through. similarly how we did for claims and contributions. That's all about the summary page. I'll move on to protection limits. The protection limits has got a couple of slices at the top where you can slice and dice the report like any traditional reporting. You can slice and dice by protection year and protection class. There are two scorecards below that. The scorecard functionality is to compare the metric, the limit of protection or declared asset value. It compares 2 different years. Currently, we haven't selected any year, so it's just comparing current year versus previous year. Depending on your year selection, it's going to compare the selected year versus previous year, so you can see how both years performed as far as protection limits are concerned. If you also notice, there is a background, there is a line chart behind the scorecard. That one gives the trend in the limits of protection for the last 10 years. And also, there is more option. If you want to know the actual numbers behind those trend, you can go to more options and click show as table. So you see the trend on the top and the actual numbers behind in the form of a table below that. On year wise, it compares current year versus previous year. We'll go back to the original page. And on the right of scorecard, we got a donut chart. The donut chart gives the breakdown of limit of protection by protection class. And currently there is no year selected, so it's just giving the breakdown for last 10 years. It will be more meaningful if you select a particular year. I'll come to cross-filter functionality in a minute, where you can cross-filter one visual from another visual, which could give you some really good insights. And below that, we have a column chart. The column chart gives the trend for the last 10 years for limit of protection, what the limits year on year. And there is 2 tables, which gives more details on limit of protection. It gives on a year level, it can drill down to a protection class level. It compares a selected year versus previous year and where the difference is coming from. And also another table below that, which gives the trend at a very high level for the 10 years for limit of protection, declared asset value, and contributions all in one table. And I'll spend a little bit more time on cross-filter functionality. For example, in traditional reporting, normally you would use the slices to slice and dice the data. But there could be multiple clicks you have to select. It could be a bit tedious. In Power BI, it's more interactive. You can use the dimensions in any of the visuals to cross-filter each other. Let's say if you're interested in filtering by year, I can select the x-axis here on the column chart, and it's going to filter all other visuals for 2021. From there, I can quickly understand why the limits of protection decreased from 4.9 billion to 2.9. I can quickly see the property limits have decreased by 1,600 million. So I can quickly understand what's happening in more detail on the table on the right. And the cross-filter also works in all visuals. For example, on the donut chart, I can select just property. If I'm interested just on property class, I can click and all the visuals get filtered for property. If I see the scorecard on the left, it's comparing current year, previous year, just for property. And if I go to more details, show as table, the trend is just for property because we have selected property in the previous screen. And the table below that is showing numbers just for property. We go back to the original page. And that's it from protection limits. Whenever you have this multiple clicks, if you want to go back to this original state, there is a reset button at the top right hand corner. You can reset and it will take you back to the report how it was published originally. We'll move on to the contributions. The contributions page is very similar to the protection limit page. It's got a couple of slices. It's got scorecards. The scorecards works very similar to what I explained in protection limits, comparing 2 years. We got scorecards for contributions, asset value, rate property, and total declared asset value, including business interruptions. By default, there is no year selected, so it's comparing current year versus previous year. And the donut chart's very similar to the protection limit page. It's just giving contributions breakdown at a protection class level. Below that, we got a column chart. The column chart here is slightly different. It's giving a trend in the growth of contributions, and not just contributions. We got toggle between declared asset value, rate property, and asset value including business interruptions. So if you click anything, it's going to give the growth trend for the last 10 years. And the table on the right, it's more detailed. If you want to do some analysis on where these numbers are coming from, just to demonstrate, let's say 2021, there is 29% increase in contribution. I click 2021 here. The table on the right, I can clearly see the cyber has decreased by 25%. The numbers are really low, but property has increased by 46%. That's how the overall contribution has increased by 29%. And I can click the y-axis again to get back to the original page as well. And just about the navigation before I go to the claims page, either you can use the left-hand side, there is a panel you can use, move between pages, or you can use the button at the top. If I want to go to claims page, I can go to claims from here as well. And on the claims, we have a donut chart, which gives breakdown of claims. You can toggle between claim count and claim value as well. Depending on what you select, your donut chart and the column chart below that gets selected only for the count or value. And the functionality of the scorecard works very similar, comparing current year versus previous year. And the column chart below that gives the trend of number of claims or the claim value, depending on our selection. I select claim count here. It gives the number of claims for the last 10 years, and there is a breakdown by status as well, whether it's closed or whether it's current. And all of these visuals has got a drill through functionality. Let's say I'm interested in 24 claims issued in 2019-20. You can right click, go to a more detailed page, look at those claims as well. And that will have all details of the claims, when it was issued, when it was reported, what's the description of the claim, and all of that. On the right hand side, we have a benchmarking visual at the top, which gives the top 5 claim types for Unimutual portfolio. Currently, there is no year selected, so it's giving the top 5 claim types for the last 10 years. So it will be more meaningful to select a particular year. Let's say I'm selecting 2021-22. The bar chart changes for 21-22. These are the top 5 claims types across the portfolio. This might be really useful if you know your claims for the last 5 years, and from there, with control selection, you can select 5 years. Let's say I'm selecting 5 years here. And what you see on the top right, that's the top 5 claims across portfolio. So you can always compare what claims you had in the 5 years and what's the portfolio across Unimutual had. And when I say portfolio, it's specific to the segment. If you're a university, these are the top 5 claim types for the university only. If you're a college, these are the top 5 claim types for the colleges. And below there is 2 standard column charts, which gives the trend for the last 10 years. One which talks about a trend in contributions, net claim value, and loss ratio. And another one is the trend for net claim value, net paid, and net outstanding. That's all about claims. I'll move on to the risk recommendation page. The risk recommendation has got 2 sections to it. The one on the left is all about members' data. If you're a university, it's all your data. There is 2 column charts. The one on the top gives the trend for the last 10 years or the number of risk recommendation you had based on the years when it was issued. And the one below also gives the number of risk recommendations by status, but also gives on the x-axis how long it's been outstanding for. Just to give you an example how to analyze this data, let's say I'm interested just on open recommendations. And from there, on the priority side, I'm only interested on the major ones. These are my focus areas, let's say. From there, both these visuals get filtered for open recs and major ones. And let's say in 2018, there is only 1 risk recommendations. If I want to know what it is, I can drill through to go to the detail page to see what this risk recommendations is. It gives all the details of the risk recommendations, its summary, when it was issued, what category it belongs, what perils, what types responses, all the details related to that particular risk recommendations. And the one below that also works very similar. Let's say I'm interested on open recs, but not on major ones. I'm looking on all the general risk recommendations. The column chart would change based on my selection, And let's say I'm interested on the ones which has been outstanding for a very long time, like 5 to 7 years. And specific on those 5 to 7 years, I'm interested only on 2 risk recommendations, which I have no plans to complete. So I click through, drill through to risk recommendation. So both these risk recommendation comes up for you to have a look. So I'll go back. That's on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, it's more on the benchmarking. There's a couple of visuals on the benchmarking. We have some slices at the top. You can toggle between category, subcategory, perils, and areas facility classification. And there is a slicer for selecting years. And below that, there is 2 bar charts. The one on the left is the member data. That's your data. You see what's the top 5 risk recommendations for the member for the category. And on the right, you see what are the top 5 risk recommendations by category across the portfolio. It would be, because currently it's giving the top 5 for the last 10 years. It'll be more meaningful if I select a particular year. Let's say I select 21, 22. And there's not many in 21. Probably I'll select 22, 23. Yeah. 22, 23 gives the top 5 for the member on the left-hand side. And these are the top 5 for the portfolio. So you can easily compare what are my top 5 categories for that particular year and what's the university. And you can always see what's missing or what more other universities had in general. Also, multi-select functionality is really useful. By control, you can select 5 years. Let's say you're interested in 5 years of risk recommendations, what's been issued, and what are the categories top 5. You can always compare with the portfolio average as well. I can click back. And below that is also a benchmarking visual, which gives the number of risk recommendation broken down by status. From there, you can see what's on the left is the member data. What are the different risk recommendation statuses, and what are the different risk recommendation statuses across the portfolio. From there, you can always compare and see what percentage are we in, and what's the average percentage of completion for the portfolio as such. That would be the last page of the presentation. And before I end, I want to take you through a couple of other functionalities, which is common across all the pages. Each of these, if you have noticed, all of these pages would have an info button at the top right. The info button would just summarize the page itself. Once you're new to the dashboard, you can always go to this info button and see what this page is all about, what functionality it can offer, and what insights it can offer. And another functionality is some of the feedback which came in like they want some options to export. So we got 2 export options here. One is you can export to PDF. If you're using your own presentation, you can take a screenshot and took a PDF of one particular page or all the pages you can do, and then add it to your presentation. And there is also a PowerPoint export as well. The PowerPoint works in it's not just the static visual goes into PowerPoint, it's a dynamic. What interactivity you have within Power BI, it all gets exported to PowerPoint. So if you're comfortable presenting to a team in PowerPoint, you can move everything to PowerPoint and work and navigate through the same way how I'm doing it now. And one last functionality is, which is a most recent addition, which is my favorite as well. Let's say if you're looking at on summary page, it's just all visuals. Instead of going into each and every visual and see the numbers, by click of a button, you can convert all the visuals to a table. On the top right, there is a view, and it says show as table. So all the visuals get converted to table, and you can quickly view the numbers of what you're interested in. And I can click show as visuals again. That will take you back to the summary page. That's all. That comes to the end of the presentation, and thank you everyone for listening.
So before we move on, hopefully you can see why I was pretty excited about what we've been able to do and getting some thumbs up. Thanks, Kylie. I just want to acknowledge the work that Tony and Prithvi have done, as well as the rest of the Unimutual team and the 7 members who worked on this, because it's not an easy thing when you're trying to bring this together. For the eagle-eyed of you in the room, of course, people aren't getting protections of $3 billion. This is not a real university or a real member, okay? We wanted to make sure that the data showed the differences, and we wanted to make sure I could see a Chi sitting there. Is that Wollongong? No, I don't think that's Wollongong. So it was a made-up member just to be illustrative, but hopefully you get a sense of what we've produced. But look, rather than me wax lyrical about it, I might ask Kasia, who was at the design stage and also through the process of testing, her view as a member.
Thanks, Geoff. Yes, we had an opportunity to have a play and provide some feedback in the development stage. And from our perspective, I think it will be a really useful tool, not only within our team, but also to be able to extract information for reporting purposes for management, and also for our audit and risk management committee at renewal, and then also during the year in relation to claims and claims management, and also on the risk recommendation side of things. So we're pretty excited. I think it will, some stuff that we're currently doing manually we'll be able to now rely on the dashboard. So yeah, thank you.
Great, thanks, Kasia. And Kyle, U&E?
Thank you, Geoff. I think there are benefits of this that will be enjoyed by all members, and there are also certain aspects of it that will be particularly valuable to individual members. So at a high level, speaking broadly, I think we're all time poor. We all find ourselves in situations where we need to communicate clearly, quickly, and with impact. And I think this is a tool that will help us in both of those respects, because I know I can dispense with 30 or 40 spreadsheets now and replace it with this one dashboard. And looking at a more individual level, the dimensions of this that were of particular value to me were, as Kasia mentioned, the ability to speed up compliance reporting, but also to have long-term data to support business cases, because we all work in environments where data is king, and it's much easier to make a case for budget or for some other aspect of change if you have data to support it, which we now have in a readily accessible way. But also we can use this with some of the case studies, like the one we heard about the retractable roof over the high value equipment, to make cases for budget in relation to some of the risk mitigation, risk engineering recommendations that we're seeking to implement. So I don't think it's overstating it to say this is a game changer. It's we all need to get in there early in the piece and have a play around and familiarise ourselves with it and get a sense of just how we can use it, because it's an extraordinarily powerful and useful tool. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Kyle. So where to from here with the dashboard? We want people to play with it. Once it comes online, go through your data, use it, see where you can build it into your processes to streamline things so that you can replace your 40 spreadsheets. Use the graphics because they look great. They're colourful and Unimutual colours, but they look great. The team even thought it was really important on the risk management dashboard to make sure that the colours used on the dashboard were the same as the colours used in Reshore, because they wanted consistency. So it's a great tool, and I want to acknowledge Reshore's part in this, because the data coming from them, we worked really hard to make sure that it was accurate, to make sure that it was, from a cybersecurity perspective, it was safe. You'll find that we don't add any information in there, that could be used for any other purpose. You won't find information, names, dates of birth, things like that. It is really just to be used as a management tool. run your organisation, and particularly for your risk and audit teams or other teams to really get into. So we'd like you to play with it. We'd love the feedback, the good and the areas for improvement as well. We will continue to enhance this. We will continue to look for ways to benchmark organisations against your peers, because you've told us that's important. So we will continue that journey over the coming years and improve where we can. Yeah, really excited to be able to launch that today. The last part is the rest of the year. What are we going to do the rest of the year? Well, given renewal is coming, and that's the big focus for us to ensure that we deliver a smooth, seamless renewal for you again. The two things that we're focusing on right now, other than operational matters, is the continuation of renewal automation. So Christine's hit me up for some more money to do some more automation to make things a bit smoother, based on what we've learnt from the last project. But we're going to continue our development in member education. And last year we rolled out the member induction sessions. For those who were involved in those, well done. We got great feedback in terms of understanding what the mutual is and what protections we offer and how it works. For those who are new to the organisation and you haven't done that yet, or new to your role and you haven't done the induction yet, don't worry, we'll catch you. Because it's a great way to understand your protections and how we operate. But there's more we want to do. So there'll be training modules on the dashboard. There'll be other pieces. I'd like to do an Insurance 101 module at a point in time, and a few other things. So we will continue to invest in this space, and that's a focus for the next module or two for the rest of this year.